Hey guys, I am so sorry. My clock must be running behind. So come on in, let me know that you're here. And I think my camera is not where it's supposed to be. Hi, Amelia. How are you? Do I look okay? Am I a little itty bitty? Diane, my clock is. I gotta put a new battery in my clock. It says quarter till right now, but it's past quarter till. So I hope it looks okay because it looks funny. Hi, Patty on YouTube. Looks a little funny on my screen, but as long as I look okay to you guys, then it's all good. There we go. Yes, solo. You look fine. Okay, awesome. So sorry I'm late. My clock on the wall is wrong. I just happened to look up at my phone, and I'm like, oh no. So, how is everybody doing? I missed you last week. I had to work over. Aw, thank you, Patty. So tonight we're gonna do a Tracey Campbell inspired. Well, first we're gonna. So if you drink coffee, which I don't, but my husband has graciously volunteered to drink what comes inside these. So he got me some little ones and he got me some big ones. He's not a big coffee drinker anymore, but he likes these. So I took the labels off. They're clear, but they're sticky. So I just soaked it in some water and then I put, Goo Gone on it. Comes right off. Oh, thank you, Diane. So I hope everybody's doing well. We were supposed to have a freeze last night, but it didn't get that cold. It's supposed to get that cold tonight. Let's just cross our fingers and then hope it doesn't. So you can. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? You can put. Yes, I am escaping my words tonight. This is Dixie Belle, so you can't read it all, but it's a Dixie Belle Slick Stick. I like it for glass. The other alternative, if you can go spray outside, is spray paint. So I get the Rust-Oleum. Where's this Krylon? I'm doing pretty good, just tired. It's been a long week. Our sewer went out last Friday. And it's been a long week. We had to go to the laundromat. We had to stagger our showers. It was a long week. So we're going to paint this. Let's do this one. We're going to paint this with Click Stick. Like I said, you could take it out and spray paint it. I've done that. I use the one that's got the primer in it. It's got a little bit of water in my, let's clean the brushes out. Don't do like I do and just leave your brushes sit in a thing of water. I'm bad about that. Do as I say, not as I do. Isn't that right? So we can put this on here and it'll act as our primer, our base coat, something for our paint to adhere to. Now you can use acrylic paint, chalk paint, whatever you want over this. There must have been red in here. It'd be okay for the base coat though. Oh, I didn't even get my new heat tool out. Mine finally gave out. I think it's still in the box. I found it. Hi, Pat Gilman. How are you? So I found my little old one. It's the one I use when I do resin and stuff because it's all yucky. So I want to get the bottom dry so I can set it down. I hope everybody's doing good. Floyd bought me a Wagner one. I don't do that either. I hate to turn it off and turn it back on, so I just set it down. I know I have it. Hi, Monica on YouTube. I've been a little absent lately. I skipped a week. My job is wearing me out. It's not my job. It's a little stressful just because it's so fast paced. But my drive time, I drive an hour and a half a day, which I know some people do, but I'm not some people. I don't want to drive that much. So once we get the slick stick, as long as you put it in a thin coat, it usually doesn't take very long to dry. I got one spot right there that doesn't want to dry, or doesn't want to have, it's probably got glue on it still. So those that are on Facebook, I am streaming live to YouTube as well. If I ever go down on Facebook, you'll see me on YouTube. So if you haven't joined or subscribed over there, and ring that little bell, it's the same name over there. Okay, so we're going to let that one sit to the side right here. And I've already painted the first coat. These did I paint right? Yeah, I did. So I did the slick stick on these. You can tell by inside. So these have one coat of classic caramel. I think that's the color that Tracey uses as well. You do too, Monica. Listen, I've always worked here in town, and I'm spoiled. I've always been within 10 minutes of home. For like the last 20 years, I've been 10 minutes from home. So working 45 minutes away is just, I don't know. It's exhausting. It's all interstate. I mean, my job is, other than the mile to the interstate, and maybe half a mile off of it, but I don't know. I'm just spoiled. So usually the second coat we like to do with a little pouncer. Hi, Cynthia. Can I get my plate out? No. It's my Thanksgiving plate. Hey, I buy them when they're 10 cents or 25 cents a pack. Great to paint on. So we're just going to pound. So you don't want to do heavy because you don't want it to streak or Baton Rouge. Welcome, Kathy. And when you pounce it, it'll give it a little bit of a texture instead of like the streaks. So that's nice as well. If you don't like the texture, then just paint it. Oh, you live up by a toll road? I have to drive through Canton on the way to Akron. And some of them people just don't know how to drive. You either get the ones that fly by you going 100 miles an hour, and I'm not lying, or you get the ones that want to drive 55 miles an hour. I don't know who's more liable to cause a wreck. I'm kind of in the middle there somewhere. That would, excuse me, that would stink paying tolls just to go to work. I know the toll. Where are you at, Monica? I know we got toll roads that run across the top of Ohio. We went to Wisconsin to see my stepdaughter get married. We had to go to toll roads. My husband's like, you want to go toll roads and pay or just the back road? And I'm like, just go toll roads. I don't know how much they are now. Might be too expensive. Texas. don't know if Angela and I were in Texas, I don't think we had any toll roads. I don't remember. We were on some back roads, I can tell you that. Near Houston, we drove out of Dallas. I flew into Houston. Yeah, I flew into Houston, then flew over to Dallas. They're expensive. I don't know what the one up by Cleveland is now. So a little bit will go a long way once you have that base coat. If you're just making it for yourself, you don't have to paint the bottom. Hi, Cindy. How are you doing? So we'll dry this one. We'll see how many we can make. You can even remember Monica asked on YouTube, do you sell your crafts at a shop? Yes, I do, Monica. And I have a couple on Etsy of the craft part. Mostly my wreaths and my sublimation signs are on Etsy. Hey, Miss Tracey. But yeah, I do have a shop here in town. It's a Tracey inspired craft tonight. There we go. So now we can set it down. I keep dreaming that I want to invent this big old heat lamp with a fan that hangs over our craft area, and at the touch of a button, it will come down and it will blow and heat up and dry our paint and then go back up in the sky. Wouldn't that be swell? Okay, so let's have that one sit for a couple minutes. Thank you for Denise for sprinkling. If you guys wouldn't mind sprinkling wherever you are. So this one is the slick stick that we painted a while ago. I think I want to paint this one. I want to do a black one. Don't ask me why. I just do. So we're going to do a black one. I bought me some more long paintbrushes. I never thought I would like these, but they get to the bottom of your jars, especially if you have some of my jars of paint are bigger. Oh, Marilyn, I have a little corner over here that's messy. It's got my stool in it over there. Hi, Diane from Florida. So I have a little bits and pieces of messy, but I try to keep it clean. The weekends have been, hey, Lori Jones. It's been so chaotic lately that my granddaughter went to her dad's and we went to a friend's house. I'm like, I need a break. She told me not to bring nothing. They had subs and snacks and just sat and laughed. Now I don't like wine. I'm not a wine drinker. Thank you, Monica. Hi, Vonda from Iowa. First time watcher. Welcome. So I don't like wine. I really, really don't. I don't like beer. But I don't drink a lot either. But she made this mulled wine cinnamon something or other in the crock pot. And I don't like hot drinks, so I had to let mine cool. It was really good. I was shocked because I don't like wine. Not at all. I get jealous about all the people that go to the wine tastings and stuff. You like a good sweet wine? I might if I found one that didn't leave that funny aftertaste. Now, I grew up, my grandparents lived right next door, and they were very much Christian. But when Grandma had her heart attack, back then the doctor told her to drink 1 glass of wine every night. And my uncle, who was a big wine drinker, he would bring her wine. Because I don't think Grandpa would ever go buy her some. I've tried like blackberry wine. We have a lot of wineries in my area. But I like sweet beverages. Like you don't have to put a whole lot of alcohol in them. Like a pina colada, you could just give me a pina colada with no alcohol and I still love it. Okay, let's see if we can draw. I want to paint a black one. Just to be different. So let's dry the bottom so I can set this one down. You know, and a lot of people say, you know, if you drink, it's bad. And I wasn't so good in my younger years, I can say that. Of course, I shouldn't drink anything like that anyway. See, that's what my grandma had to drink, a glass of red wine after her heart attack. But I wish I could find one I liked. Maybe I should start going to the wine tastings around here. Maybe I'll find one I like. I mean, there's a lot of wineries around here. If anybody's ever heard of Brickenbach, that's like 30 minutes from my Yellowtail. It's here in Ohio. Local. Raspberry wine? What brand is it, Cindy? I could have got my Lazy Susan out, but, you know, where's the fun in that? Get a sweet wine, go to a tasting, and ask for a sweet. They are all different. Hi, Carol from Canada on YouTube. Welcome. Okay. So we're going to let that one sit. It's got a couple wet spots on it, but it's black. Now. Oh, I might want to paint the top, though. Let's see. Now, I like amaretto, and a friend of mine did have an amaretto wine. It wasn't too bad. Let's paint the top here real quick. So you can either put cloth around the top, or you can paint the lid. I'm going to find my lid here real quick. I think they all fit the same lid, because I just got a little container, a little baggie full of the lids. Sometimes they fall through the little dish drainer. My granddaughter doesn't get them out right away. I said, I need a lid. She's like, here. And I'm like, does it go to the small one or the big one? She's like, I don't know. I think they fit pretty universal. So I'm just going to paint the, you can paint it a different color if you want it. I'm just going to paint it black. Whoop, not that way. I got to get me some more gloves. I think I'm almost out. All right, let's do it that way. Okay, so we're going to leave this off to the side. And we're going to come back and see how this did. I want to get black paint on it. I think it did pretty good. So you can't see the texture as much now, but it has great coverage because we didn't brush it on. We used that pouncer. Trying to get ready for a craft show on the 5th. Had to drive my husband's truck today because he had to replace the brakes on my car. Just got 4 new tires. I'm like, oh. Tires are a pretty penny. It's like giving off your firstborn child. So we're going to do something with this one. I think I have this label. Hi, just Simply Crafting. It says Jefferson and Son Company high grade coffee. I got it off at Etsy. So we're going to take, I got some Mod Podge here right below the camera. I always look for like a bad spot that you want to cover. Doesn't look like I have too many. So you want to make sure that you get it all under. Oh, I made it too tall. I didn't want to have to go over the divot in the bottle, but I guess we're going to. Oops, I almost stuck that in the slick stick. That would have been a bad deal. Okay, I'm not sure how this is going to go since I've got. Might have to put a little slit in it. I wasn't planning that. I thought it was 4 inches, but I guess it was maybe 3. So I just rub it. I do use this a lot of times. It came with my Mod Podge. I think it came with the brayer. Because it'll help pull that glue out from behind the whatever you're Mod Podging. Yeah, that one did it too. I just printed this on regular copy paper. Hi, Carol. Ooh, I need to put that out of the way and give me my Mod Podge. Got the big old thing of Mod Podge. If you want to Mod Podge, decoupage over things that curve, it's easier to use like tissue paper or napkins, stuff like that. I'm going to put a little slit in it. It's going to mess up my image a little bit, but we'll see if we can hide it. I thought I sized it down enough, but obviously I did not. So we'll see how well we can get this down. Not terribly awfully bad. Got Mod Podge on it, which is okay. If you don't get it all the way underneath the edges, your label or whatever you're decoupaging will want to curl back up. You can also use a piece of scran paper. Thank you. Got a little bump right there, but I think it'll be okay. Then we have some coffee goodness. If you want the recipe, if you go to Tracey Campbell's My Sweet Home Living and go to her page, it's pinned at the top. It's got water, instant coffee, vanilla, and cinnamon. And the instant coffee makes a sludge in the bottom. So if you want this really rich goop, let it settle. Don't mix it up so much. So if you stir it, see all the sludginess? If you don't want that sludginess, you can just heat it up or put it in a little bowl and heat it up and shake, Shinora. We're just going to paint some of this on. I don't like coffee, but I have adjusted my nose to tolerating this. It doesn't smell like coffee to me anymore. So after you start painting that on, you have some grubby goodness. Or you could use Mod Podge and some cinnamon. Or Mod Podge. If you've watched me before do the grubby cans, I use Mod Podge and just instant coffee. the Mod Podge being wet makes the instant coffee melt as you're putting it on your whatever you're putting it on. I'm just going to lightly go over my label because I don't want it to be real bright. It is the best. And then like I've got drips back here. So if I don't want drips, I don't mind the drips, but I don't want them like really pronounced. You don't want to like brush it on real hard because that'll just brush it right off. I'll put some on the bottom. I'll make it all matchy-matchy. Like I said, you could use some, if you want to even put cinnamon on over it, you could. Usually on jars, I don't put a whole lot of cinnamon. It's stuff like on, like my fake bread. You know, and if you dry it, if you don't have enough grubbiness, you can just put another layer on there. Thank you, Wanda. Miss Tracey did one of these first. This is where I got my idea. I think she did hers like a creamy color with a red lid, and I think she had a milk label. It was really cute. Let's see if I have another lid. Here's one. So if you like to decorate your house with like little, like primitive farmhouse, and have like little vignettes around the house. I try to decorate, but I had to put a lot of things away because my granddaughter's kitten is like a dog and wants to chew on everything. Yeah, no. Is that the Mod Podge one or the? Oh, yeah. No, but thanks. It'll be okay. Well, I got a little coffee in there. I have a little jar that's my coffee grunge. I should have got it out. But I was making blocks right before I went live, and I didn't want the coffee grunge. So you can take little blocks of wood and paint them. And I just took some of the labels I got, and I just decoupaged them on. I'll just dress them up. But thanks, Lori. So as your label dries, sometimes you'll think that it's all over, but then you have a little white streak on it. It is what it is at this point. So if it does that, just put a little bit back on there to help blend it in. Like I said, I don't want my label where you can't read it. I can't say that word tonight. Lord help me. I better go to bed early tonight. Okay. So we could paint. Oh, we could do a black lid with this. Ooh. What do y'all think of that? Black lid? I could paint another one. Because then I want to put a layer of Mod Podge over it. This is the Mod Podge one. So it'll turn it all kind of white, but it will dry and it'll help seal it in. So it doesn't, number one, it'll help seal the paint in to where it's not going to chip as easy. I mean, If you drop something on the floor, it's liable to chip. Whether you bought it handmade or bought it in the store. I'm not going to paint the bottom right now so I can set it back down. You like the black lid? I think I do too. I'll have to paint me another one. And then and this is where if you wanted to put some cinnamon to make it look like it's rusted, you could. I think I'm just going to leave it solid black. So we'll set this over. Where's my wax paper? Set that one over there. See how it goes drying. I think I'm going to put my slick stick away so I don't stick the wrong brush in there. There we go. So here's our black one. It's all black. Paint another lid. Find the black brush. Never know. So we'll just paint another lid. Like I said, if you don't want to put a lid on it, you don't have to. Put some coffee stained cheesecloth, coffee stained fabric. You know what? I should have put it up on here and let it dry. And that way I wouldn't have to worry about touching it. Work smarter, not harder, Jeanette. It's on there a little crooked, but we'll get it on there. Okay. So now we're going to take, not that brush. I think we're going to do, I don't know if this will fit. Oh, it's too big. I must have been seeing double when I measured them. Let me see what else I got over here. Ooh, cyanide. We could put cyanide on there. A lot of my labels I get off at Etsy. I ain't got time to make them all. I make some. I have a guillotine cutter, but it's downstairs. So this one says cyanide, potassium, poisonous, caution. It's got a bunch of jumbled words on it. So we're going to put this one on here. That way it'll be nice and straight and won't have to overlap. You don't need a lot on there. I probably put too much on there. So I want it to be centered on the flat side. Of course, I didn't put enough all the way around. There we go. Of course, we're crooked. Of course, I suppose. Ooh. I ripped up my black paint. See, that's what happens when you don't let things dry right away. We're going to cover that up. Oh, it went over there too. Oh, well. We'll just have to paint it black again. So usually I do everything in steps. So I will either spray paint it or do the slick stick. And then the next night, I might put a coat on it. Then the next night, I'll put a second coat on it. Then the next night, I put the label on it. So really, it's a 3 or 4 day ordeal when I make them to sell. Because this one's not wanting to stay straight. See, it's ripping the black paint off. But we're going to go ahead and finish it anyway. Because once you let that dry and you can put a coat of Mod Podge over it, that kind of seals that paint better from leaking, or not leaking, from coming off. But I got a little spot here we'll just touch up. Hi, Rhonda. And nothing about primitive is ever perfect. So If you did it too bad, you could probably just peel it off and start over. Or you could chuck it in the garbage and start over, depending on what kind of jar you're using. If I throw them away, my husband might hurt me. I think a 4-pack of these is like $7 or something. I said, honey, it's in the name of crafting. He just gave me an evil eye. Him and my granddaughter have been drinking caramel something. Oh, and she only drinks it with oat milk. You know they make Starbucks stuff with oat milk? That's better. So then we can take, I wouldn't use white, but I'm going to use cream color. Let's use plaster. So I got plaster by Waverly. And I want a dry brush. And I have one, this is really stiff. And I like it just to put some paint on and then dab a lot of it off. You know, the whole onload, offload. Hi, Mary. Thank you. For people that are lactose. Yep, my granddaughter's lactose intolerant. So I'm just going to take, I just want a little bit of distressedness. Just, is that a word? Distressedness? Hey, Dan. How you doing, girl? So you barely want any paint on it. Now I'm going to stay away from this area a little bit because, you know, a black paint wanted to come off. But instead of this being nice and flat black, we're going to get some other stuff going here. Doing pretty good. Working my keister off. I get paid every 2 weeks and I worked, what'd I say? 97.5 hours. It's been a rough 2 weeks. Ooh, I didn't want that much, but that's okay. If you get too much on there, don't try to wipe it off now. Let it dry and then go back over it with your base color and redo your distress. Make sense? I said I was going to stay away from this part, but I never listen. Why would I listen to myself? Ooh, see, I did that there. There we go. So now we got our bottle of cyanide. This is not a message to anybody either. So we got that one. Now our Mod Podge is still wet, so let's dry it just a little bit. Oh, there it is. So this is the one that's the caramel color. And I put a black lid on it. My label was a bit big, but we went ahead and made it work. Thank you, Dan. You could also use coffee grounds. Thank you, Monica. They kind of leave a bumpy, just use them sparingly. Gives a great texture to whatever you're working with. Ouch. That's hot. It smells like cinnamon. I don't want to get that too hot. Make it bubble up. Can't tell. Well, stop. Stop. And then if you want to take something like, let's see, this way. It's just a little bit of a homespun that I coffee stain. Tie a little Little bow. I like to tie the bows off to the side so they don't cover the label. And then trim it off however short you want it. And if you wanted to put like Sweet Annie or a cinnamon stick, or stuck my finger on there. I did that too quick. Plus I got paint on my hands. Have to put a little bit of more gumminess. That's why I like to do them in different nights. That way it completely dries. There we go. Hold it by the bottom. So there's the first one. It says Jefferson Sun and Coffee. Let's put a little bow on it. And then we did our cyanide. I think the black jar was good for the cyanide. Don't you like that? Just put a little, it's actually not white. It almost looks white, but it's a plaster. I think this is plaster. Yep, plaster color. Just a little bit. Like I said, if you put too much of a distressed color on it, just go back over it with the base when it dries. And that way you're not mixing the two colors and making a gray. Thank you. So a lot of labels that I use come from Etsy. I do have a couple. Thank you, Patty. Have a couple subscriptions, not prescriptions. You know, that's what you go for the drugstore for. That I get labels off. Thank you, Vonda. They're little cuties. Get this jar. If you didn't want the lid to come off, you could, you know, put it on there and put a little super glue right underneath the edge of it, and it will make it to where no kids or nothing could take it off. I like this. I like the black one. I like this one too. You could even put the grubbiness over the black. It won't be like bright or not bright, but it won't show a lot. But you'll have that texture and that little bit of cinnamon that'll, when it dries, it'll be left over, and that's nice too. So here I did 2 little jars. So these come in like a 4-pack. I think my husband said he buys them, and I don't. And these are the singles that you get out of like the little coolers in Walmart or wherever. Thank you, Diane. So make sure that you are in Craft Around the Clock. I know a lot of you are. Hi, Stephanie. Have I ever been to Rogers Flea Market? Is that up by Kidron or Kidron? It's been a lot of years I've gone up to the Kidron one. I got a china cabinet. I got my china cabinet from there. But thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. If you're not following me and you like what I do, please follow me so you'll know when I go live. I don't go live a whole lot, but I do enjoy my time with everybody when you're here. Lisbon. Okay. No, I haven't been to that one. Or maybe it is the same one. I'm not sure. It's been a many, many decades since I've been up there. But go join Craft Around the Clock. There's 65,000 people in there almost. And almost 200 amazing creators that we go live all week long. Sometimes there's events on the weekend, so you can have all kinds of inspiration to make something your own. So again, thanks for coming and hanging out, and I'll check you guys out later. Bye.